Sophia Bush and Hilarie Burton celebrate going back home. With One Tree Hill sequel series there's only on Tree Hill, and it's Sophia Bush and Hilarie Burton's on-screen home again. As Deadline revealed today, a One Tree Hill sequel series is in development at Netflix with Bush and Burton reprising the roles of Brooke Davis and Peyton Sawyer, in addition to serving as executive producers. The pair celebrated the return to their TV roots, posting a recent cast reunion photo with Danneel, Ackles and Bevin. What if you really can go back home? If there's an opportunity to team with brilliant creatives and build a space where all our friends can show off their talents? Own our history? Reclaim our turf? Honor our fans? Sign us up. The pair wrote in a joint statement posted individually to their respective Instagram accounts. There's only one Tree Hill, after all. They continued. And you, the #OTFam, have shown us that it's not just an idea. It really is the place where everything's better and everything's safe. Original cast members responded in the comments of the post hoping they too can return home, including Brian Greenberg, Jana Kramer, Robert Buckley and Daphne Zuniga. The sequel series hails from writer/executive producer Becky Hartman Edwards and Warner Brothers TV. Danneel and her husband Jensen Ackles are executive producing the project through their Chaos Machine banner, with the latter in talks to return as Rachel Scott. Emily Moss Wilson is a producer. Created by Mark Schwann, One Tree Hill premiered in 2003 and ran for 9 seasons on the WB network, and its successor the CW. The sequel is said to take place 20 years later, following best friends Brooke and Peyton, who are now parents to teens and facing challenges not unfamiliar to what they tackled in the original series, like love, insecurities and grief. We understand. The coming-of-age drama also starred Chad Michael Murray, James Lafferty, Bethany Joy Lenz, Austin Nichols, Antoine Tanner and Paul Johansson, among others. Deadline hears there have been informal conversations with other members of the ensemble cast. Bush and Burton are the only ones set thus far, with formal approaches to others expected if when the series is greenlight. Murray, who played Lucas Scott across 6 seasons and returned as a guest star in Season 9, has no plans to return for the follow-up. We understand. One Tree Hill creator Schwann, who served as executive producer and showrunner on the original series, has no involvement in the sequel. In 2017, a number of OT female cast and crew members, including Bush and Burton, spoke out, accusing him of sexual harassment. The follow-up, headlined by the duo, represents the women of OTH reclaiming the show. Set in a fictional North Carolina town, One Tree Hill begins as a story about 2 half-brothers, Lucas, Murray, and Nathan, Lafferty, with a strained relationship forced to navigate high school together, whose social circles eventually intersect. As the show progressed, the story opened to follow all of the friendships, romance, heartbreak and familial tensions in Tree Hill, through the lens of the teens. Brooke Davis, Peyton Sawyer and Haley James Scott, Lenz, often anchored the storyline. Peyton and Brooke are childhood best friends who, throughout the series, become more like sisters. Their relationship is put through the ringer as they overcome a myriad of obstacles, most notably their love triangle with Lucas. When the series begins, Lucas joins their social circle and brings along his best friend, Haley, who has a whirlwind romance with Nathan and marries him in high school. The two also have a son, Jamie Jackson Brundage, who was born their senior year. In the end, Peyton marries Lucas and Brooke falls in love with Julian, Austin Nichols, with whom she has twins, Davis and Jude, characters who will return in the new series as teens according to the show's synopsis. Danneel Ackles also recurred for several seasons as Rachel Gadina, initially as an antagonist to Brooke, but they later developed a friendship, cementing Rachel as part of the group. Burton and Bush also host a One Tree Hill rewatch podcast with co-star Lenz titled Drama Queens, which continues to air and is currently in its 7th season. They also welcome guest stars to the podcast, including Jana Kramer, who joined for their most recent episode. Burton most recently stepped back from working on the podcast with Robert Buckley